listen close. Truth not hide forever. Hey. Colonel Indios, Wyatt Army, stand up. Hey. Legacy media all around. Headlines spinning round and round, selling fear from town to town, trying to keep the people down. Lies and fake news every day, misinformation on display. Disinformation lights the way, leading sheep so far astray. Little lambs in line, trusting everyone in sign, marching where them say is fine, never asking who designed. Truth gets traded for political gain, again and again and again, while ordinary people feel the strain, caught in somebody else's game. Resistance is futile, them say. Just obey what you're told today, but the people waking up anyway, and the truth keeps finding a way. Resistance is futile, them cry, while their stories never quite comply. You can see it with your own two eyes. Truth lives on, it never dies. Them divide people left and right, turning neighbors into fights, clouding up what should be bright, hiding facts out of sight. They use people then discard, push narratives strong and hard. When the evidence leaves them scarred, them simply move the goalposts yard by yard. Cognitive dissonance in the air, contradictions everywhere, yet some still pretend not to care. Like the emperors got close to it. But a movement's growing every day, not from rage and not from hate, just folks who choose to investigate before it's far too late. Resistance is futile, them say. Just obey what you're told today, but the people waking up anyway, and the truth keeps finding a way. Resistance is futile, them cry, while their stories never quite comply. You can see it with your own two eyes. Truth lives on, hey, it never dies. Come and get a daily dose of reality. No hysteria, no manufactured tragedy. Take a little break from propaganda and insanity, and step into a place of clarity. Inoculation against fake news infection, yellow journalism without direction. Question everything, make your own inspection. Truth should never fear examination. Join the colonel, hear the story. Without all the money, facts should glory. Facts before ideology, that's the art of honest reporting. The Wyatt Army isn't just a name, it's ordinary people in the game, thinking freely, not seeking fame, refusing to be led by shame. Just chill, relax and hear the scene, see what all the headlines mean. Objectivity sharp and clean like a river flowing crystal green. No need for panic, no need for fear. Take a look and make it clear. When the facts and evidence appear, the signal rises through the smear. Resistance is futile, them clear, yet more people question all the same, searching truth beyond the frame, and refusing to play the game. Resistance is futile, no more. People knocking on reality's door, seeking facts they're looking for, and finding what they can't ignore. Yeah man, truth shines brighter than confusion. The noise fades, the facts remain. Colonel Chris and the Wyatt Army, keeping it cool, keeping it real. Resistance
It's time for Night Owls, folks. Once again, Wednesday, June 10th, 2026, rapidly approaching the 250th anniversary of our nation's Declaration of Independence. Can you imagine the founders, what they thought? Nathan Hale, Alexander Hamilton, Thomas Jefferson, George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, Benjamin Rush, all of these individuals, this unique, incredible gathering of minds who set in motion the greatest experiment in human polity. Let's check on the sound. In motion, the greatest. Sounds pretty good. All right, well, welcome back tonight. The bumpy start to the FIFA World Cup here in North America, owing to travel concerns, restrictions, and the rejection of a terrorist-affiliated soccer official, who is the official of the year, being lauded by Africa, coming from a broken country. Yeah, well, we know how FIFA is. Sepp Blatter, bags of money, corrupt officials. The beautiful game is really just a hideous sight. But it's about to kick off here tomorrow with the inaugural game breaking out at 9 p.m. South Africa time, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here. Mexico hosting Bafana in Mexico City. I predicted a 2-0 or 2-1 victory for Mexico. Let's see what happens tomorrow. Let's see if Bafana can prove me wrong. It would be the biggest upset in their history. So, welcome to everybody who's here tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about the campaign. The war, the ceasefire is over. We can no longer have the pretense that there's a ceasefire. The demonic, theocratic, terror-sponsoring regime of the jackals in Tehran are striking back after the United States has struck back against their attack against an unwarranted, unprovoked assault in international waters of a U.S. helicopter, shooting down and nearly killing 2 of our crew members. The Iranians are paying a heavy price for that, and their response is strike back. Their arrogance, it's time to obliterate them. Israel, please go in and take out all these leaders. Feel free. Free hand. Go for it. Go for it. Leslie says it's going to be 4-0 Mexico. Yep. Well, I'm thinking there'll be like an own goal mistake by the Mexicans in their haste, and that's how Bafana will score, get 1 goal, or they'll get nothing. Anyway, let's go. Let's get to it. We'll talk about Iran here very quickly. It's not a news program, but we'll chat. So my apologies and my thank you to everyone who was patient with my arrival this evening. I was on a phone call about refugee issues. Thank you, Ocular Smile, for your 16 months of membership. Smash that like and sub. Let's go. Hey, thank you so much for that. Yeah, so I was dealing with refugee issues here and also coordination for my Atlanta trip, unrelated to the refugee issues. But yeah, so anyway, yeah, so apologies for arriving late. I wanted to arrive early because I have to be up at 4:30 for a press conference. I'll be at a press conference with the Bulls at 4:30 this morning, assuming I get up. So I got to set my alarm to get up, and I will be here to cover that press conference. So anyway, and then I've got to pack my bag tomorrow. I haven't had a chance to get around to that, and also had to get some laundry done here today. So anyway, yeah, but let's get on to the conflict. The war is back on, folks. It's like it's on like Donkey Kong. The United States is not putting up with the bullshit coming from Iran. Finally, Trump is his patience is exasperated and exhausted, and it's time to get down to the business of taking these ghouls out. President Trump warned the U.S. would resume attacks, citing slow progress in negotiations. Well, he just said the deal was almost done, so you got to be consistent, President Trump. U.S. military has completed strikes against multiple targets in Iran, but the problem is that we still got it going on. Explosions were heard across much of Iran early Thursday local time. The Revolutionary Guard Corps said its aerospace and naval units carried out operations against U.S. targets in response. Also said the critical state of Hormuz was closed. The claim the U.S. military rejected. All right, an hour and a half ago, they said they finished their latest round of strikes in Iran. CENTCOM forces launched strikes on Iranian military surveillance capabilities, communication systems, and air defense sites across Iran. U.S. Marine Corps, Air Force, and Navy assets fired precision munitions on Iranian targets that posed a threat to U.S. forces and international commercial ships transiting regional waters. CENTCOM has framed the strikes as being a response to the unwarranted and continued aggression. The attacks began at 5:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which was about 6 hours ago. Explosions heard in various cities across Iran, including Estahard, Abyek, Varamin, and Karaj, all close to the capital of Tehran. Sirik, near the Strait of Hormuz, and also came under attack. Karg Island apparently was also attacked. That's interesting. That is interesting. Sirens in Bahrain after Iran claims of launch of retaliatory attacks against U.S. 2 hours ago. They responded 3 hours after we pummeled them. Yeah, Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps has claimed to have launched retaliatory attacks on 18 significant targets. There have not been any reports of any hits on those targets. So there you go. Iran. Pete Hegseth said the U.S. will negotiate with bombs if necessary. The U.S. announces more strikes earlier this evening. Iran said it retaliated for U.S. strikes by launching new attacks in Bahrain, Kuwait, and Jordan. CENTCOM says the strikes are over for now. Well, don't make them over for now. Take off and bomb these people into smithereens. Stop pussyfooting. Let's get this done. Let's get this nonsense done. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps says retaliatory strikes have been launched against U.S. forces in Kuwait and Bahrain. There you go. So 1 minute ago, we have an update. Kuwait closes airspace amid the attacks. Kuwaiti Civil Aviation Authority has announced a temporary closure of country's airspace as a precautionary measure due to Iranian aggressions. Flights will be diverted. Yemen's Houthis warn U.S. that Iran attacks threaten global economy. Well, this is what I have to say. It's time for coordinated attacks from Iraq, Jordan, Israel, UAE, Oman, Saudi Arabia, the United States on Iranian targets and on Yemen. It's time for this. Let's get it done. Let's get it done. Let's get it done. Enough of this pussyfooting. Stop playing games. Either get this done or don't do it. These people have no intention of negotiating in good faith. They have no intention of banning the nuclear program. They have no intention of governing legitimately. These are 13th century ghouls that believe it's okay to molest little girls, believe it's okay to marry little girls, believe it's okay to execute homosexuals by dropping off buildings, and believe it's okay to imprison people for speech and that women should be abused and not heard. No, enough. It is time to put an end to this nonsense. U.S. bombs Iran for the second straight night by Barak Ravid. U.S. officials said they expected an Iranian response, possibly targeting U.S. bases, and it did happen. Tehran announced Wednesday night its military targeted the U.S. Navy's Fifth Fleet in Bahrain with drones in response to the latest American strikes. Central Command said strikes began at 5:15 p.m. against multiple targets in Iran. U.S. Marine Corps, Air Force, and Navy assets fired precision munitions on Iranian targets that pose a threat to U.S. forces and international commercial ships transiting regional waters. Iran has a chance to make a great deal. They haven't been willing to do it, said Pete Hegseth. They're going to have to tap bombs dropping on key facilities in Iran from the U.S. It is not to restart the war, but to set the terms for a deal. If we need to negotiate with bombs, we will negotiate with bombs. We will strike them hard tonight, and hopefully Iran makes a good decision. They won't. You won't be able to. You have to just take them out. U.S. struck Iranian radar and air defense sites Tuesday evening in response to downing the helicopter. And tonight they went after more targets. Trump met today with Vice President Vance, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, CIA Director John Ratcliffe, Joint Chiefs Chairman General Dan Raising Cane, and White House Envoy Steve Witkoff. One option that Trump is considering is an operation that would be big in scale but short in duration. So, Trump is frustrated with the Iranians, then don't be. Just take them out. Delta Force, SEAL Team 6, in, snatch them, take them away, send them to The Hague for prosecution. Or Guantanamo. I'm not a fan of war either. I've been in war. It's not fun. It's not good. To try to kill people is not a healthy thing. But they don't understand anything else, and they're going to kill millions of people if they have the opportunity. Allow them to develop a nuclear bomb, and they'll drop it on Tel Aviv. They will drop it on Tel Aviv and alter the trajectory and arc of history. And if you think there's xenophobia against Muslims and Arabs now, let the Iranians, who aren't Arab, by the way, they're Persian, but let the Iranians drop a nuclear bomb on Tel Aviv and watch the carnage in the streets of the UK, Ireland, Germany, Canada, and USA, Australia, New Zealand, against Arabs and against Muslims. You watch. I'm just saying. I certainly don't endorse that, but you watch. You watch them drop a nuclear bomb and watch what happens. You watch what happens. Well, police have resorted to using water cannons against protesters. Now, using water cannons against looters and arsonists is one thing, but against protesters, why? Did they misbehave? Police used water cannon against rioters. It said, in Northern Ireland. It dispersed a crowd of 300 people who burned a truck and threw bricks. Okay, well, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. And petrol bombs, they shouldn't be doing that. Unrest is reported in Derry and Coleraine. Family of a stabbing victim, Stephen Ogilvie, condemned the violent protests and appealed for an end to misinformation. We've witnessed a lot of false information circulating on social media, which is now focusing to clarify that a loved one is in fact in stable condition. We're solely focused on his recovery. Wow. So the family of the person who they nearly beheaded is now defending the nonsense. This is what happens to woke people. Jeez. Demonstrators tore up a garden fence to use as a barricade and shield, used tires, furniture, and wheelie bins to start a large fire. White van was driven into the flames repeatedly by a man who left it in gear and jumped out. The one onlooker was given first aid after being hit in the hip by a flying rock and was taken to hospital. After a standoff lasting hours, the protesters were dispersed by police at 11:30 p.m. Left behind a street littered with bricks and litter, driveways torn up to be used as ammunition, and burnt shells of vehicles. Firefighters moved in to tackle the empty house that was still burning. Wow. Hadi Alodid, 30, of Duncairn Avenue, Belfast, was charged with attempted murder of Stephen Ogilvy and is further charged with possessing a knife in a public place. Minister of State, you can't have a knife in a public place? What kind of fascist state is the UK? You can't have a knife in a public place? What the hell do hunters do? Do you just, like, tear apart the stag with your hands, your teeth? What a stupid country. Well, Somalia's referee is hailed as a hero when he goes back to the broken, terror-infested land of Somalia after being denied entry. Days after he was denied entry to the United States, Omar Artan arrived home to a hero's welcome. Government officials greeted him at the airport with flowers, and fans draped him in the blue sky Somali flag. In the capital, Mogadishu, thousands packed into a stadium not for a soccer match, but to celebrate the referee. There, Artan was hoisted onto the shoulders to the cheers of the crowd, a symbol of national pride in a country often disparaged on the world stage. With good reason it's disparaged. What happened has happened, and it was fate. I'm grateful for the support FIFA gave me, he told reporters on his arrival in Mogadishu. Artan, who's poised to become Somalia's was poised to become the first ever World Cup referee, told supporters he remains determined. I will attend the next World Cup. We should strive for our country and defend it. We should never be disappointed. I love my country, and I encourage young people to continue pursuing their goals. Over the weekend, he was denied entry at U.S. Customs and Border Control protection at Miami Airport. The decision, despite his holding a diplomatic passport and a valid visa, was defended by Andrew Giuliani. Okay, first off, why does he have a diplomatic passport? He's not a diplomat. He's not a diplomat. That's first off the first problem. The fact that he's issued a diplomatic passport is problematic. He's a tourist. He's not a diplomat. FIFA is not a sovereign state. FIFA can't issue passports. The United Nations could do that, but he cannot have a diplomatic passport. Is he an official of the Somali government? That's fishy. And a valid visa was defended by Andrew Giuliani, head of the White House World Cup Task Force. Anyone who's communicating with bad actors that plan to harm against the United States of America are not going to be admitted entrance. Trump administration officials speaking on condition of anonymity alleged Artan to associate with suspected members of terror organizations. National Public Radio reached out to Artan for comment, but he's yet to receive a response. A FIFA spokesman said Artan would now not be able to train at the tournament, which is being held in the United States, Canada, and Mexico, and kicks off Mexico City tomorrow. In Somalia, the U.S. has been a key partner in countering al-Qaeda-linked Islamic group al-Shabaab. U.S. accusations, however, have angered Somali citizens. Ilham Gasser, a Somali member of parliament, said many Somalians feel he's been unfairly treated. If these were genuine concerns, the individual has links to terror. Many Somalis are asking why were those concerns not addressed in the visa process? Quite frankly, because the visa process does not have access to the intelligence community in the same fashion that the intelligence community and Border Patrol do. So, though officials this is the ignorance of people that don't understand how visas work. Visas are issued by consular officers. They have access to some databases, but they don't have full detail. They don't have top secret, sensitive compartment information access to information because obviously it would be leaked. So they make a decision. And again, it doesn't matter if you have a visa. A visa doesn't give you the right to be in a country. It gives you permission to enter the country pending a decision by Border Patrol agents. It's as simple as that. As simple as that. So the ignorance of people doesn't explain this problem away. Last year, Somalia was among 12 countries subject to sweeping U.S. travel ban. Trump has repeatedly disparaged Somalia, calling its people garbage and describing the country as probably the worst, most dangerous country, calling it hell. Well, other than disparaging its people, I think all that's true. So now it's a moment of national pride for the Somalis. Good for them. They've got nothing else. So FIFA's Infantino said, you better chill over the World Cup visa concerns.
Tickets and visas. Nothing to do with football. A lot to do with the current situation.
Excuse me, nothing to do with football. The prices are because of FIFA. It has everything to do with football. The visas does have nothing to do with football, but the tickets have everything to do with the greedy FIFA clowns.
with our host countries, with the world the way it is. So let me say that on Iran, I'm very happy because I went to see myself the Iranian team in Turkey, in Antalya, in March of this year.
Big whoop.
And when people were saying, well, it would be impossible for Iran to come
Iran's
to the
here.
World Cup, I told them and I promised them that they would come, and if I had to go with a bus to Tehran and drive them here, I would do that. Their answer was, we will take the bus ourselves and drive it if need be.
Anyway, the Iranians are here, so it's just a tempest in a teapot. There's nothing here. Believe me when I tell you, or don't believe me if you want, but we always try to find solutions, always, he said during his pre-cup conference. But when we need to respect that we are not the kings of the world who can rule over governments and police forces, and I don't know what, we're a sports organization. We try to do our best with the means that we have. Yep. He said it's unfortunate what happened to Omar, a referee from Somalia, but again, we don't control everything. We'll try, we'll discuss, we'll see. Maybe sometimes it's good as well to chill, relax. We work on everything. We try to resolve everything. Sometimes to immediately start screaming and shouting has the opposite effect in terms of finding a solution. I don't mean chill and do nothing. I mean to trust us that we're working behind the scenes trying to understand. Yep. Despite the ongoing visa-related issues that include relocating the Iranian team's training base to Tijuana, Mexico, and the denied entry of Artan, Infantino insists he does not regret choosing the United States as a host country. In California, we sold 800,000 tickets for the games in Los Angeles and San Francisco. Out of the 800,000, we had 3 customers who complained. The 4th one has come since. These cases were solved before the investigation started. We welcome any investigations. We present everything, but it's most important that every dollar that we generate goes back into football. So he just said football had nothing with the ticket prices. He's lying. FIFA price tickets at $140 for the summer tournament with certain regular seats up to $8,680 for the final in New Jersey. After facing heavy criticism, FIFA released a number of $60 tickets to national federations for supporters. We didn't get them. There were no $60 tickets available for Americans. And when I logged into the site, the tickets were none of them were cheaper than $2,600. It's just a bunch of lies. He said the average ticket price is under $500 for the tournament, which is comparable to other U.S. sport events during their playoffs. A claim that, while true for resale, does not appear to be accurate for list prices. He's correct. That is a resale price, but it is not true. You can get tickets for cheaper than that for tournaments. Yeah, but that's what it costs to go to these finals. For instance, if I try to get a ticket to the Vegas Golden Knights, which I can't get right now, Vegas. Oh no, it's going to be in Carolina Hurricanes tickets, Game 5. Okay. Okay, so it's tomorrow. Single game tickets, Carolina Hurricanes. See if I can even get it. Playoff tickets, Game 5. I doubt there's any tickets available. It's probably going to be sold out, but I'll tell you what the prices are. This is the NHL final. Okay, all right, so he said $500. Yeah, the tickets available for this game, the cheapest ticket is $840. No, $771. $771, and it's a resale. Someone already has a ticket. That's not the list price. I don't know what the list price was when they came out, but $771. So Infantino is correct, but it's expensive to go to these events. We have to watch it on TV. Only the rich can go to these things. That's the bottom line. So he's right about that. He's right about that. Yep. Anyway. So Somali guy denied. World Cup players and officials are being detained or barred entry into the U.S. That's actually a misleading statement. An Iraqi guy was detained, which is the prerogative, and he was released after answering the questions. Somali referee Omar Abdul Qadir Artan, named as Africa's best referee last year, was denied entry to the U.S. And then they come down here and they talk about the Iraqi. So that's the Iraqi, Ayman Hussein. The Customs and Border Patrol confirmed in a statement that 2 people with an Iraqi national team were subject to additional inspection to verify information or determine admissibility. Iraqi striker Ayman Hussein was also detained and released 7 hours later. So what's the issue? So we don't have a right to protect our country? People come from dodgy countries. Again, now the BBC jumps in. Infantino could have stood up for the World Cup, but he said, chill and relax. Dale Johnson, football issues correspondent. You have to have a correspondent for issues in football? That's funny. Listening to FIFA President Gianni Infantino, and you would think the controversy around the 2026 World Cup in recent days has been insignificant. Just, chill, relax. After all, it's not as though one of his referees refused entry or Iraqi striker was questioned for several hours, nor that Iran had been forced to switch their base in Mexico, and all their fans had their tickets canceled. Well, we're at war with Iran. What exactly do you want? So we should let the Nazi Germans come to America for the World Cup? What a stupid position. What a stupid position. Iran started this war in 1979, not us. They started the war. Iran has threatened to stop World Cup games if faced with unauthorized flags or slogans. So they don't like the fact that people are going to call out their fascist regime and they'll stop playing. They've threatened to halt its matches at the World Cup if unauthorized flags are displayed. In other words, if they show the Shah's flag, not the fascist flag that belongs to these clowns. Yep. We've informed FIFA that if unofficial flags are brought or slogans against the national team are chanted in the stadiums where Iran plays, the team manager will definitely be responsible for stopping the match. We've been assured that no disruptive incidents will occur at the stadium during the match against Egypt. We shall see. Iran eases Football Association previously urged FIFA to prevent any LGBTQ plus pride-related activities during the Seattle match. The fixture had been designated by local organizers as a pride match to coincide with Seattle's Pride weekend. So the homophobes. So it's okay for these Arabs and Persians to be homophobes, but anyone else is just a homophobe. So they have intentionally told FIFA, we don't want to see pride. We don't like gays. We don't want this to happen. That's what the Iranians and the Egyptians have told FIFA. So we're going to kowtow to their 13th century barbaric view on homosexuality? Are we? Yes, we are, because it's FIFA. Wow. I tell you, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Yep. So, Iran, protesters gathered outside FIFA Congress in Vancouver called for Iran to be banned from the tournament, saying the team represents Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps rather than the Iranian people. The Iranian team has also faced organizational challenges with Iran's Football Federation saying its ticket allocation was withdrawn days before the tournament, leaving supporters who had already made travel plans unable to attend their team's matches. Team currently training in Tijuana will be able to enter the U.S. the day before each match, the Department of Homeland Security said, amid a conflict that has added geopolitical dimension to the tournament. Yep. Exactly. They're a visiting team. They don't get to dictate anything. Yeah, they're offended by every single thing. But it's okay. The leftists, the gay pride, the blue hair brigade, has no problem with the Iranians or the Egyptians' homophobia or their hatred of homosexuals. It's not homophobia. They don't fear homosexuals. They just hate them. Oil inventories are reaching a nadir, multi-decade low. Oil stockpiles in the world's largest economies are headed towards lowest levels since at least 2003, as inventories are drawn down from a record pace due to the lost output from the Iran war. Total oil inventories in members of the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, the OECD, fell to just 2.3 billion barrels by December at the current rate of consumption. It's the lowest level since it began keeping records in 2003. The inventory is necessary, drawdown is necessary because it has to make up for 11 million barrels a day lost to Middle Eastern traffic. That's about 10% of the world's oil. It says global shipments, 20%. It's 20% global shipments, but it's 10% of the oil consumption per day. Yep. So oil reserves are dropping. Yeah, we're the gays for Gaza now, exactly. Hey, let's take a look at the richest countries in the world based on per capita income. Let's take a look at that. Here you go. Luxembourg, which was the top one in 2000, 26 years ago at $49,000 per head, is now at $159,000. 3 times as wealthy are the Luxembourgers as they were. Of course, got to take out inflation, but that isn't 300%. So they're much wealthier now. Japan fell off the chart. Japan's economy is not going anywhere. They were at $40,000, the second wealthiest country in the world per capita, and they've dropped way down. Then comes Switzerland, $39,000. They retain in the top 3. They dropped. They stayed number 3 with $126,000 per capita. Then Norway, which is based on oil wealth, those dirty Norwegians, are 4th, and they are now in 6th place at $106,000. Then comes USA, which in 2000 had per capita income of $36,000. Today, it's $94,000. Then comes Iceland, which jumped ahead of the USA. They were at $33,000 then. Now they're at $110,000. That's even after their banks melted down a few years ago. That's amazing. But then these oil-rich states have dropped off. UAE has dropped down. Qatar has dropped down. Sweden has stayed roughly the same position, but their income has increased from 30 to 71,000. The Netherlands has jumped up a little bit. They were at 26. Now they're at 80. Ireland, which was very low on here at 26,000, has jumped up to number 2 at 140,000, but that'll quickly come back down with all the illegal aliens flooding the country. And Hong Kong, which was on the chart, is now off the chart. Yep, world's richest countries per capita. Ireland rose from 14th to 2nd place. Japan fell from number 2 to number 39. 9 of the world's 15 richest countries are located in Europe. So Luxembourg, Ireland, Switzerland, Iceland, Singapore, Norway, US, Denmark, Netherlands, Macau, Australia, Sweden, Israel, Qatar, and Austria are the top 10. And 3, 4, 5, 6 of these countries have a per capita income over $100,000 per person per year. Yep. Pretty wild. So here's a question. Who are the biggest sources of foreign direct investment around the world? Anybody know? It should be easy to guess. The United States is the largest source of foreign direct investment. $266 billion, $103 billion more than China. Japan, $204 billion a second. Then we've got Hong Kong, Luxembourg, and Canada in there. Yep. Look at that. The UK are even on this chart. Germany at $39 billion. France at $41 billion. I'm looking for the UK. I don't see their flag on here. It's got to be there somewhere. UK used to be the $25 billion. 1/10 of the foreign investment that the U.S. puts out. Wow. Now, let's see where the top countries for foreign investment. Now, this is inflows. Now, we sent out $266 billion, but we took in $279 billion, so a net inflow of capital. Look at that. China got $116 billion in, which is less than they sent out. USA took in $279 billion. Wow. Singapore is number 2, taking $143 billion of net inflows of foreign direct investment. Does South Africa even show up on here? Nope. Nope. Tanzania's on there. There's South Africa over here. Tiny little South Africa. Doesn't even give it a dollar amount. In the bottom corner there. In that Egypt green or purple there. It's just down there below that. Wow. Bob Packwood, the sexual predator, scumbag, piece of human sludge, has passed away at the age of 93 in a care facility. The former senator was a human filth machine. The unorthodox Republican helped shape tax policy and women's rights legislation before he resigned in 1995 amid accusations by more than 20 women of sexual misconduct. Bob Packwood, a moderate Republican from Oregon who championed women's rights but was forced to resign in 1995 after his fellow senators threatened to expel him for making aggressive sexual advances. More than 20 women, some of them his employees, died Saturday in Rancho Mirage, California. He was 93. His death at a residential care facility was confirmed by his wife, Elaine Franklin. The couple often rented a vacation home there. The case against Packwood, who had spent nearly half his life in the Senate, unfolded long before the Me Too movement spurred society to take more seriously allegations of sexual misconduct against high-profile men. The bipartisan Senate Select Committee on Ethics dragged on the investigation for 3 years. Only 15 senators have been expelled in the history of the Senate. He would have been the first since the Civil War. He was an early and vocal supporter of abortion rights, which means he wasn't a Republican. He introduced a bill to legalize abortion nationally 3 years before Roe v. Wade. His efforts won him the Margaret Sanger Murder Award from the Planned Parenthood Federation in 1979. He was a strong proponent of family leave and gun control. That's not a Republican. He also sought to prohibit employment discrimination based on sexual orientation. He championed environmental and conservation causes. Also not a Republican. Although reports of Mr. Packwood springing himself on women have been circulating for years in Oregon, they did not surface nationally until 1992, shortly after his re-election to a 5th term. Several of these women said he was abrupt, grabbing them without warning, kissing them forcibly, and persisting until they made clear they were not interested or had pushed him away. He said, "I'm here to take full responsibility for my conduct," but declined to specify what he was sorry for. He said, "I apologize for the conduct that I was alleged that I did." He also said he wouldn't step down. Women in Oregon had called for resignation. He caught a break when Republicans won control of Congress in 1994. by seniority, returned to the chairmanship of the powerful finance committee where he sat on decision-making critical issues like taxes, welfare, and health care. Wow. The ethics committee investigation continued. If she didn't want me to feather her nest, why did she come in the Xerox room? He wrote at one point. This is from his diary. He tampered with evidence by destroying parts of his diary, incriminating document replete with scenes of a bodice ripper. She knows copying stuff in there. I had my jacket off, my sleeves rolled up, revealing the well-defined musculature of my sinewy arms, which were always bulging with desire. I know what she wanted. What a pervert. What an absolute pervert. The committee's 200-page report was backed by 10 volumes of evidence accumulated during the previous 33 months, running 10,000 pages. In 1969, in his Senate office in Portland, Oregon, he grabbed a staff worker, stood on her feet, grabbed her hair, forcibly pulled her head back, and kissed her on the mouth, forcing his tongue in her mouth. He also reached under her skirt and grabbed at her underpants. Good Lord. What a creep. What a creep. Good riddance. Good riddance. Well, thank you, Mike. Yeah, it was a good conversation with Dan. U.S. defends barring the referee from coming here. White House has defended its decision to deny entry to the award-winning Somali referee. Well, giving somebody an award doesn't mean they're not tied to terrorists. Yep. SpaceX IPO could turn 4,400 people into millionaires. By the way, I can't get in on the IPO. I looked. It's closed. I didn't move fast enough. So, shame. As Trevor Heiss was getting ready to graduate from college in 2011, his parents wanted him to take what they saw as a stable job at General Electric. But instead, he landed an internship at a startup he loved. Against his parents' advice, he stayed for a full-time job at a young company for the next 12 years. That startup was Elon Musk's SpaceX. Today, Mr. Heiss has more than 100,000 SpaceX shares that he earned from his time working there. With the rocket maker expected to go public this week at $135 a share, Mr. Heiss's SpaceX stock is likely worth $13.5 million. A sum that's left him in disbelief. The magnitude of this has been ridiculous, said the 37-year-old who worked for a SpaceX launch engineer and now considers himself semi-retired. Wow. A lot of people are going to get rich from this. More than 4,400 current and former SpaceX employees are likely to become millionaires in the IPO. Wow. It's crazy. There's a stock certificate for someone who covered up a name. Wow. Going to be some rich people here, and we're going to see probably next week that Elon Musk is a trillionaire. A trillionaire. A trillionaire. Oof, man, that's a lot. Despite paying into Social Security for 46 years, it's scheduled to run out of money when I am eligible for full retirement. 46 years I paid into Social Security, and that's another 6 years. That means I will have paid into Social Security for 50 years. 50 years. And I'm going to get bupkis. 22% cut. There's no money unless they raise taxes. Well, that's why I said it's a Ponzi scheme. It's a scam. It's always been a scam. And it's shameful. It's not a retirement plan. There's nothing invested. There are no investments in Social Security. It's a scam. It's always been a scam. Yep. 90 people currently here. A Ocular Smile. Thank you for your membership. That was earlier. Anyway. I wouldn't like to be that rich. Oh, I would, vodka model. Hell yeah. If I was that rich, I'd find some alternate way than other trying to replace my hip. And I'd have myself some nice RV and a nice big freaking mansion built into the natural environment that has a massive studio in it, as well as a library and awesome furniture and 5 bedrooms and 9 showers and and a 6-car garage and 100 acres around me with raspberry bushes and all kinds of things. Yeah, I'd love to be a billionaire. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, I'd make good use of that money. Good use of that money. Indeed, I would. Hey, Carl Duplessis, what's going on, man? How you doing there? You can make me a millionaire, but I won't get there from YouTube. That's for damn sure. Not going to get there from YouTube. That ain't going to happen. Yeah, you can hand out the money like lollipops to kids. People do that. A lot of wealthy people do that stuff. More than you realize. Yep. But giving money doesn't solve problems for people. Unless it's an emergency situation, then it solves a problem. But it's not a long-term solution. People have to have the skills. You have to encourage or foster the skills in people. By the way, I'm finally almost finished reading my book about the end of the Incas. Man, it's been a long slog because every time I get into it, I got more stuff I got to do, and I just get distracted from it. So we are now just a matter of hours away from the 2026 FIFA World Cup right here in North America. Mexico, Canada, and the U.S. Yep. Here is a replica ball, fan ball. So I wonder if all the balls actually look like this. They're going to kick. That'll be interesting to see. So FIFA World Cup. The green is from Mexico. The blue is for USA. Is the red for Canada? It is. Canada's red. Canada's red. USA's blue. Mexico's green. Yep. Cool beans. It's like an Aztec eagle there. And then the Canadian maple leaf, and then a star for the USA. So, there you go. Look at Mr. Beast. Yeah, Mr. Beast. That's an interesting story there. Geomagnetic activities the last couple weeks. All the stocks are allocated already, so at least with Schwab. I have an account with Schwab, so I went there and I couldn't get into it. I tried to do it. I couldn't find a symbol for SpaceX. I've been busy the past few days, but yeah, I don't have a lot of money, but I had a little bit of money. I thought I'd buy a couple shares. So what I'll do is when it soars, I'll look and see how badly it soars on Friday. If it doesn't soar too much, then I'll buy a share or two. If it we'll see. Pikachu's not banished. He's just here. He's here. He can go up there in the nighttime. He shouldn't be there during the news. It's a serious thing. Buy an island with a castle. I don't want an island, but a castle. I'd like to build a castle, you know. Actually, I'd love to have that place out there in Wyoming. If I was a trillionaire, I'd buy that place in Wyoming. Remember that place we looked at, that castle in Wyoming was for sale? That place is incredible. Yeah, that's it. $14 million for it. The Bedford Castle. 40 acres in Wyoming. But the problem is the taxes are like $250,000 a year. So let's check it out. Here's the $14 million castle available in Wyoming. I would solve all my problems. I'd be in Wyoming and I'd have a castle. Yeah. 2150 Robinson Lane, Bedford, Wyoming. Sees a once-in-a-lifetime chance to claim ownership of the illustrious Bedford Castle in Wyoming. Extraordinary castle offers an impressive array of amenities, including 5 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms, and a sprawling living area, all nestled within 40 acres of captivating landscape. Approaching the castle, guests are welcomed by a stately brick perimeter enclosing lush grounds, punctuated by towering trees, and a 48 by 72 shop boasting a helipad atop. The castle's exterior is a masterpiece of architectural splendor, boasting resplendent pillars. Breathtaking. Okay. So that's the one. There, here it is. There you go. Look at that picture, man. It's incredible. It's been listed since 2024. 9,400 square foot palace built in 1992. That's it when it was being built there. Look at that kitchen, man, with a dining room in it. Now, I found this thing, and it told me what the taxes were. But that's obviously not it. So, anyway, wow. That's what I do. Tunnels, yeah, connecting garages. It can work. Yeah, it is pretty vodka model. Too big, it's all right. You know, we can fill it up. We can fill it up. We'll find people to fill it up. Craigslist, or Castle List, not Craigslist. For sale. Took 8 years to build it. Now for just $14 million, you can own it. Took 8 years to build that. I just like the spot it's in. It's incredible. Look at all the people wandering around out there. You see footprints all in the snow. Well, thank you. 35 rand for the castle. I only need about 10 trillion more. 40 rooms. Took 8 years to build it. Look at that view. It was built on land the Heiner family's owned for generations. Tunnels connect the castle to the shop where there's a 30 by 30 foot vault. Heiner Castle. There's a kid's bike out there. Someone grew up nice. Anyway, yep. Hey, Charles. Yeah, well, that's an incredible place, the Wyoming Castle. Zillow. Maybe that's where I can find out the answer I'm looking for. Yeah, here it is. Okay. Oh, the price has come down. Oh, look at that. Now they only want $9.5 million. Hey, it's a bargain, man. It was $14 million. Now it's $9.5 million. Look at now we can afford to buy it. Check that out. $9,750,000. I'm going to go put an offer in on it tonight. Oh, my goodness. Where are the taxes at? Somewhere should tell me what the taxes are. Yeah. January it was 9.9 million. December it was 13.4 million. It's come down to 9. Yeah, prices come down. It was $1,400 a square foot. Now it's down to $1,000 a square foot. Okay, here's the taxes. The taxes were $279,000. Wow. What's the difference between property tax and tax assessment? I don't get that. Anyway, that's a lot of money. So your monthly mortgage payment would be $56,000. The insurance is $3,200 a month. You have to put down a $1,950,000 down payment if you have a credit score. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Well, the good news, there's no homeowners association affiliated with it. Calculate your viability location. Let me see. So my payment would be, if I put a down payment for, oh no, this is how much I could do. Oh, I could buy a house for $2,374,000. So I can't qualify. Yeah, I couldn't qualify. Nope, I just don't have the $10 million. Of course it's paid in cash. Of course it's paid in cash. I wish I had $10 million to buy that place. That'd be awesome. I'll tell you what, if I bought that place, you're all invited to come out and visit. And I'll charge you almost nothing for a room. Go skiing, you can hang out, go hunting for deer. My goodness, where's that thing at anyway? It's Bedford, Wyoming. Let's see where that's at. Oh man, all the houses are expensive there. $900,000, $4.5 million, $1.2 million. Oh, there's $565,000, but it's tiny. $659,000, $5.9 million. Good God. Land, 5 acres for $425,000. Good God. Oh, 6 acres, excuse me. Wow, that's insane. A 1 acre lot for $125,000. This is insane. 66 acres for $2.5 million. Damn. 40 acres for $720,000. Damn. $1.3 million for 41 acres. God, it's so expensive. Lots of land, but it's so expensive. Check out how all you guys want to be farmers, refugees. You're crazy. $319,000 for 7 acres. $295,000 for 5 acres. $175,000 for 1 acre. 1 acre. That's insane. 5 acres for $300,000. That's just flat land. Look at that. 2 acres. $175,000. 95,000 acres for 95,000 for half an acre. That's insane. I mean, that's absolutely insane. That's crazy. No, it's good God. Yep. Bedford, Wyoming. Bedford, population of 465 people in the census. 465 people. Wow. That's it. It's in Lincoln County. 169 people in 2000, 63 households. 20 years later, it's 465 people. It's growing. 97.04% white. Oh, it's near Star Valley. It is in Star Valley. That's why it's so damn expensive. They got a Mormon church there for you Mormons. Bedford. Star Valley Ranch. Okay, Star Valley. The place I want to buy is right next to it. It's right here. So there's Afton down here. Where the heck is Afton at? Okay, it doesn't even show Afton on there. There's Afton right there. This is where Bedford is, and that's Star Valley Ranch. That's the place I was going to buy land. Right there, Star Valley Ranch. So you can see all those plots. See all those plots there? They were still, a lot of them are vacant. That's the place I was going to build my house. Star Valley Ranch, right there. Now it's incorporated. Yep. AI narration. What are you talking about, AI narration? What are you talking about? Closed caption? Yeah, it's near Star Valley Ranch. It's not part of Star Valley Ranch, but it's near there. Yep. I didn't realize that castle was there. I would have gone and looked at it when I was out in Star Valley. Hey, Ro, what's going on? Be sure to hit the like button if you haven't done it. So, folks, I am going to be up in 4 or 5 hours for the Bulls press conference about the game. So, yeah, I've already got my question in mind, what I want to ask. Yep. So they're going to take questions from those calling in. So they didn't do that in the last one. So that's why I haven't been doing it for a while. Wants states to change the visas to accommodate people for World Cup. Yeah. Well, we're not going to do that. Nope. Oh, other African countries are going to target the South African elite, saying it's their time, they feel the pain. Well, that doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me at all. Would not surprise me. So now I know why it looks so pretty. It's overlooking Star Valley. Anyway, I have Dan Root on the program tomorrow. We're going to talk about the confiscation of people's money, asset forfeiture. It's pretty scary stuff what they do. I'm pretty sure I already put that on the channel. Let me just double check. I think I set it up earlier. I've been so busy tonight. I haven't gotten out of this chair since freaking 7:30. Yep, when the state on justice seizes your assets. Yep, Dan Root. So that'll be in the morning. Afternoon for South Africa. Feed now. Nigeria going to seize MTM. Well, that's not going to go well for Nigeria. Yep, that will not go well for them. Not a good plan to start seizing assets. That's a game that doesn't go well. Oh, Peter DeToy says the dishonorable Julius Malema. That's interesting. Let's take a look at that. EFF leader Julius Malema lives and operates in a strange twilight zone where he seems to take his role as parliamentarian seriously, but at the same time revels in populism and sowing hate. He has, since being elected to Parliament in 2014, he wasn't elected. He was selected. Members of Parliament are not elected in South Africa, they're selected. Let's get that straight. Managed to forge a reputation as a semi-respectable politician. No, he hasn't. Generally functioned within the bounds of the convention as he agreed to respect the rules of politics and lawmaking. This despite his party's thuggery in the National Assembly when they repeatedly desecrated South Africa's constitutional democracy through violence and primitive hooliganism that Parliament struggled to contain. Anyway, yeah, well, I don't really care what Peter Dutoit has to say, so I'm not going to read the rest of that. Yeah, they took a lot of people's money. So we're going to talk to Dan Root. He wanted to talk. He reached out to me and asked if I'd cover it. So happy to do that. Anyway, sorry, just looking at some old messages there. Helen, what's going on? I don't think I've seen you in a while. How you doing? Anyway, all right, guys. Yeah, so please tune in for that. All right, please join me for the Dan Root conversation. Also, feel free to go back and watch some of my other content. My videos are languishing this week. It's just unfortunate. Some good content out there. Let me see. I did the Honeybee Heroes, which has only got 3,000 views. That's disappointing. South Africa's Darius Luba passed away. That's sad news, but that has 17,000. Steenhuisen's Chief of Staff mocks South African farmers, just 6,000 views. Will South Africa erupt in chaos? That's got 11,000 views. And then the puppy one, that's kind of died off. No one's watching. Why are these puppies so happy? Yeah, but I've been using AI for thumbnails, and let's see. Quite a few of the most recent ones had some good ones, so, but the videos just aren't performing. It's interesting. I think that the AI video, the thumbnails are working against me in many cases. Hey, CB, what's going on? All right. Just seeing how the puppies are doing. Well, they're doing okay as far as I know. Yeah, I'm going to catch a little bit of rest, but I got to get something to eat. I'm starving, so I'll nibble on some chips or something like that and watch The Cafe. I like that show. It's kind of a slow sitcom from like 2011. Britain, The Cafe. Ralph Little is the one who wrote it, the guy who played on Death in Paradise later on. So pretty good, though. Anyway, you guys go to bed. We'll see you later. For the South Africans, enjoy your day. And be sure to hit that like button if you don't mind. How many likes we got? We even hit 100 likes? Probably not. 73. Oh, bummer. Thanks for the Super Chat revenue. Somebody sent me Super Chat revenue earlier, so thank you for that. Take care, everybody. And I'll be up at 4:30. You won't see that. And then I'll be on with Dan Root later in the day. I'm flying Friday. Cheers.